All right, so your sample swatch should look about this long and this wide. I knit and purled a few more rows just to give me some space. So when you're doing the bind off, I would recommend stopping on a knit row, so an odd row. So the first thing you're going to need to do is knit that first stitch, slide off, knit the second stitch. Before you move on to the third stitch, we're going to put the needle into the front of the first stitch, and we're going to slide it up and over the second stitch. And then we're going to repeat this process all the way down. So knit the third stitch, put your needle in the front of the second stitch, pull that stitch up and over the third stitch, and you're really holding this piece of string tight to keep both from slipping off. So knit fourth stitch, put the needle in the front of the third stitch, pull this tight, and then up and over. And then when you have one left, you can just cut. You would usually leave a lot more than this if you were actually making something, because you want to be able to sew in your ends and make it all pretty, but this is just a sample, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then you just pull it tight. So this is an itty bitty tiny sample swatch. It's not big enough for us to measure anything, so that's why I told you to make something a bit larger. And now we measure gauge. So you're going to want to line up your ruler or your gauge ruler. So these little X's, can you see, like it goes like that? That's a stitch, a V. So we're going to aim for the middle and line up the ruler on the side of the V. And then we're going to count across for 1 inch to measure our stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 stitches across is going to be 1 inch across in fabric. Then we're going to turn it. So the V is here. Can you see that? It went out of focus. So the V is here. So I'm going to turn it right here at the bottom of that V. So now it's going to look like a less than sign. So this is the stitch I'm lining it up with. Right here. So here's my V, there's my stitch. So I'm going to lay this down on the table so I can get a good measurement. So it's lined up with the bottom of the V. Maybe I can adjust this better so you can see better. All right, so lined up with the bottom of the V. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this kind of hits right in the middle of a stitch, so I'm going to call it 5.5 stitches is going to give us 1 inch. So that's our gauge. 5 stitches across is 1 inch, and 5 rows up is 1 inch, and that's what we'll be using to do our cast on and all of our other calculations when we're making the hat. That is better explained in the pattern that I made. The Google document has all the calculations and example calculations for you. So that is the first thing you're going to want to do if you are a novice knitter and are planning to make a hat for the March for Science. The next thing I'll be showing in the video is how to do I cast on in the circular, so using the 4 needles and casting on in a circle. Okay, thanks for watching.